After the H1 tag, the next two important keyword placeholders are your H2 and your H3. Your H1 is actually a heading tag as well, but as we classify that as a king, what I'm referring to when I say heading tags is pretty much your H2 tags and below. The HTML format of a H2 tag is literally the same as a H1 and a title tag, only that the text in between the brackets changes to a H2. The same applies again to the H3. It changes to a H3. So hopefully you can see the pattern here. When it comes to your heading tags, these are a little bit different to your H1s in the fact that you can have as many H2 tags as relevant. The only thing you need to be wary of is that your H2 tag must be a relevant subtopic of your H1. So let me use my SEO consultant page once again, just to give you an example. So here you can see I've got a H1 tag which says SEO consultant London, partner with the best. I then have two H2 tags below that, how my SEO consultancy services work. That is a subtopic of my H1 as it's related to my H1. I then got another H2 tag, SEO expert, meet my rockstar team in London. Again, that is all relevant to my main topic of SEO consulting in London. I have a team that you'll be working with if you hire me for SEO consulting. And then below that H2 tag, the second one right here, I've got my H3 tags, which are listing out the staff that work at ClickSlice. This is a H3 because all of these staff are a subtopic of Meet My Team, which is a H2 tag. So pretty much it just needs to make logical sense. So when it comes to affiliate marketing, what you're going to find is that your H2 tags are typically going to be the headings of each product you review, and then the pros and cons of that specific product are going to be your H3 tags. Moving on to the next part of optimization, which is optimizing the meta description. The meta description is the text you see in the Google search results below your title tag. So again, for my SEO consultant London page, this would be my meta description right here. And the best practices to follow when it comes to optimizing this is to make sure it's under 155 characters in length, and that includes spaces, as if it's longer than that, Google is likely to cut it off and even rewrite it to its own version which it thinks is the best. And it often doesn't do a good job. So keep it under 155 and it's less likely for this to happen. Same rules as your title tag really. You also want to make sure you get your keyword mentioned in the tag. It doesn't matter where, as it isn't really a ranking factor anymore, your meta description. However, when you do include your keywords, what Google does is actually bold those words. So you can see I've got the word SEO right here and the word London, and I've also got the word expert, which is a different variation for the word consultant. And as you can see, Google has highlighted these words in bold, which is going to make it more likely to stand out and generate more clicks across to my page. The third thing, which is optional, is you can try and ask questions in your title tag to help grab people's attention. Applying this to my meta description, I could have said, "Are you looking for an SEO consultant in London?" ? And finally, make sure you write naturally. Moving on to another live walkthrough. So let's start off with updating the page's meta description. So exactly how we've done before, find the page you want to edit and then click edit. Now the meta description is actually done through Yoast SEO as well, the same way we done the title and the URL. You can see we have a box right here for meta description. So I already have a meta description written up, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in like so. You can see it says, "Looking for the best table saw on the market, ? Our team spent weeks researching and testing them all, so you don't have to." So I start off my meta description asking a question, which is one of the points I mentioned on the PowerPoint slides. It just helps increase your CTR, which stands for click-through rate, by the way, which is basically the percentage of people that click your website from the Google search results. So once you're happy with your meta description, once again, go and click update. That will then publish that data onto your page. So let's go ahead and check out the page and review the other headings. So we know we have our H1 tag here at the top, and we can use our SEO Meta one-click Google Chrome extension just to confirm that. If I go to headers, you can see we've got the best job site table saws reviewed, suitable for all budgets. This is our H1 tag right here. If I go back to summary, we can see we have our meta description we just added, and we've got an SEO title here at the top as well. However, what I can see is we have 23 H2 tags. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's a problem, as you can have as many H2 tags as you need. However, we need to make sure these H2 tags are indeed relevant. Remember, an H2 tag is a subtopic of the H1 tag. So let's go ahead and look at what these actual H2 tags are. So we've got the H1 tag right here, which we just ran through. We then have another H2, our top 7 picks, which I believe is going to be this part right above the table comparison. So this part doesn't actually need to be a H2 tag, as it's not really a subheading of the best table saws, right? It's our top 7 picks, which is part of our whole list for the best table saws. So this should actually be changed and should be removed from a heading because it isn't actually a heading. And then we have another H2, which is obviously our first product, number 1 SawStop 10-inch professional saw. And then we have more H2 tags, the pros and the cons. So this is actually relating to the pros and the cons right here under this product. So these should not be H2 tags. What they should be is H3 tags, as these are subtopics of the H2. These are the pros and the cons of this specific product. These are not the pros and cons of the main H1. So this is pretty much the process you want to follow to determine which should be a H1, H2, and H3. But pretty much when it comes to affiliate websites, your main H1 will be as it is. The product title should be H2s, and then anything under that product title should be a H3 or H4, and then you rinse and repeat again a H2. These would be subtopics of that H2. So what I'm going to do right now is just go ahead and make some updates to the page to get rid of that. So I'm going to click edit with Elementor. So let's scroll down to the first part, which was this one right here, our top 7 picks. If I select it, we can see this is indeed an H2 tag right here in the left hand side. However, if you're not using Elementor and you don't have a page builder which clearly shows you, what you can actually do is just go over to your page and then select the text which you want to know what it is. Right click and then click inspect. This is pretty much the manual way to do it. You're not using the plugin, but you can see we then have a H2 tag right here, what I just ran through, and it says our top 7 pick. So that's pretty much the long-winded way to do it. But regardless, no matter what you are using, you can definitely figure out what is what. So I'm going to select that and then change this to P, which is paragraph. And if I want it to be the same size in appearance, I can just literally go to size right here and then change that to medium. Or again, if I want it to be bigger, I can go for large. It's completely my choice. It doesn't really matter. The main focus from an SEO perspective is that this is not a H2 tag. So it's not going to get picked up in the SEO Meta Chrome extension, which is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and actually make this medium. I'll go to style, typography, and I think I'm actually going to go ahead and change this to bold just so it stands out a little bit more. Perfect. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and change our pros and cons. Again, these are coming in at H2 tags. So I want to go ahead and change that to an H3, as these are subtopics, remember, of the actual product review. These actually don't look too bad in regards to size, so I'm not going to worry about going ahead and increasing that. They can stay exactly how they are, and I pretty much want to do the same process for all of my pros and cons, as at the moment, they are all down as H2. So I'm going to fast forward the video and get all of these updated. We're then going to revisit the page after and see how the metadata looks. Okay, all updated. So let's go ahead and update the page now to get my changes live. Let's go over to the page and then refresh it. And now if we go ahead and look at the SEO metadata, you can see we only have 8 H2 tags now, which is perfect as we have 7 products, which is a lot better. If we go into the heading tab, we can see what those are. We've got this one, H1 perfect, H2, pros and cons. You can see it just looks like it's structured a lot better too. And that's because this is the way it should be. We keep on scrolling down. We've got another H2 tag at the bottom, which is our table saw buying guide. I'm going to leave this as a H2 as the buying guide is relevant to the main H1 of the best table saws. So again, this is perfect to have. We've got some other H3s within that content, the type, the motors, components. So I actually scroll down to this buyer's guide right here, which is right at the bottom below all the product reviews. You can see we got this buyer's guide right here. Now these are going to remain as H3s as these are all subtopics of the main H2. So when you're looking to buy a table saw, you should pay attention to the type of the saw, which is a H3. You should also pay attention to the motor, again a H3, and the components of that table saw as well, which again is another H3 tag. We've got these H5 tags which are appearing, which is quite interesting, and another H3 subscribe to our email list. I believe these are things that are coming in from number 1 is the widget. If I just scroll right to the top, you can see it's the text right here. So I believe some of our widgets are coming in. So that also needs to be fixed. And I think if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, that subscribe thing you saw was coming from the footer. So again, just some small things that need to be updated. But page-wise, the actual structure of this page is actually looking really good. There's nothing for us to really worry about. We just want to go ahead and fix the remaining things. But that is pretty much how you would optimize a page for its headings and its meta description. And now this page is pretty much ready to go. So we've gone through the whole process now from start to finish. You've seen how I've created the page and how I've optimized it. And this is the best structure now, and you are perfectly positioned to go ahead and rank this on the first page of Google. Once again, I hope you found this valuable, and I'll see you in the next one.